We done shouted, we done cried, but what happens Monday night when the pressure hits your door and you can't take no more? We keep it real, we keep it true. This ain't surface, this breakthrough. God still speaks, God still moves, even outside of the pews. Real talk, real life, real faith, real faith. Beyond the pew, yeah, we gon' be on the pew.
Now that we have said all that, I think we were muted the whole time.
Talk about unmuting.
I thought I had unmuted it. So let's try this again. We're gonna rewind. Welcome, welcome, welcome here beyond the pew. A place to reset with
real life,
real talk,
and real faith.
And for real this time, you're on Live with a Living Color with Bishop Quinn
and Jazzy Mac.
Here on the two-time Stellar Award-winning WVTC Gospel Radio Network. Do me a favor, like, share, comment, stay with us, don't leave us. We'll be here for an entire hour as we have our final installment on
Beyond the Pew.
Unmuting. Oh.
We struggling today, y'all.
Yeah, it's been a busy week. It's been a busy week. She got stuff going on. I have stuff going on. But we're here. Go ahead. I'm done.
You finished?
Finished.
You sure?
I promise you I'm finished.
Whatever. Yeah, I'm excited about today's conversation. Ironically, it's about unmuting mental health. And just kind of having that conversation about what we don't like to talk about, some of the truths, some of the myths, some of the facts, as it relates to the world in general, as Black and Brown, being a part of the Black and Brown community, but also about being a part of the faith community. So I'm excited, just kind of jump us off, that church is finally wrapping their heads around the concept of what mental health is.
Yeah, finally.
And I guess my first statement will be everyone has mental health. Let's start there.
Everyone has mental health.
Just like we have physical health and we have spiritual health and we have emotional health. Everybody has mental health.
First of all, let's say hey to Mama Katrina Mack. Hey, Mama. Our CEO is on watching. Reverend Franklin Morris Jr., praying for you that God continue to touch, heal your body and your wife's body. First Lady, amen. He said the struggle is real. It is definitely real.
It is real.
Yeah.
And we are finally graduating from the lay hands, speak in tongue, pray about it, and it'll disappear.
And that's why y'all see it right here, beyond the pew. That's why the Lord gave us this vision for beyond the pew to step outside the box. We're both, another week she'll be ordained. We're both licensed ministers in the Lord's church.
I'm licensed.
She's licensed. We're both licensed. I'm ordained, consecrated. And
got as much oil as he got, I guess.
Stop. And we love the Lord.
Very much so.
But we know we have to go beyond the pew.
Absolutely.
We're taking the church outside of the four walls of the church. That's why God gave us a vision for beyond the pew.
My group so I run a group on Tuesday through Trinity Outreach. You guys are welcome to join us. It is a free mental health awareness group. But you know what I tell them about therapy? I like going to therapy because she gives me the language to take to God.
Okay, I like that.
So a lot of times
I like that.
We be blank praying. We don't really know what the problem is. I told y'all I got a little oil.
You look greasy today. All right, come on.
Not in real life. But anyway, it gives me the language. So a lot of times we're like, oh, God, heal my heart. Now, don't get me wrong. God is omniscient, all of that. He's everywhere, all at the same time. He knows. But it's nothing like being able to be specific about what it is. And a lot of times we don't know. And when you go to therapy and you're giving them these bucket answers or you're pouring and you're spilling, they give it a name.
Yeah.
And once I get the name, they're like, oh, so you were anxious. I'm like, no, I was just all over the place. They're like, yeah, you were anxious. Yeah. I'm like, God, I need you to help me with my anxiety. Because now I have a language to talk to God about directly, and I know how to apply biblical scriptures to it, and I know what to go to because now it has a name. So unmuting mental health for me, I guess we can start there. Kind of what does it mean by unmuting it? Is really taking the cap off of what we think it is. If I had a cold that lasted for too long, or I broke a bone, I'm going to the doctor to get diagnosis from someone who's specific
Yeah.
about what it is that's hurting me. And I feel like if my mind is going through those same issues, I go to a doctor that is specific about those issues who can now give me some tools to add. When you get diagnosed with cancer, you don't get rid of God.
Come on.
You probably find them more, right?
Yeah.
So why does being diagnosed with anxiety or depression, or sometimes it's situational and it's seasonal, so they won't give you a diagnosis, but why does it make a difference?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that speaks to that our capacity as it relates to mental health. Um, and I like this: mental illness is a sign of weak faith. That's false.
Very false.
That is false. Mental health is not caused by lack of faith. It is influenced by biological, psychological, and environmental factors.
And that is evidence.
Yeah.
People who have mental health issues, there are three types, and I like the way. So we have some myths and facts that we're going to unmute today. I like the fact that they broke it down by biology, psychology, and environmental. Because some people that you experience, we live in Chicago, so a lot of those people that are under the bridges, that are homeless, they have a biology imbalance.
Yeah.
So you'll see them kind of twitching on top of the fact that they've added drugs and alcohol to their biology. So that's when the chemicals in your brain and your body are unbalanced and they are not aligned, it will cause an internal imbalance, right?
That's it.
And an internal imbalance can be healed by praying, but it can also be healed. Sometimes those people need medicine. If you know anything about addictions, sometimes to remove addictions from people, they have to use other drugs.
Yeah, to help them get off that
one. Wean off one drug and go have to use another drug to wean them off. So biology is important, but I think one of the biggest things we're facing, and I would love to find the statistics on that, many of our mental health issues is around the environment. We don't feel safe enough to acknowledge that we have a problem, so we go unhealed or uncured.
Yeah.
There is not enough service support anymore. Again, a lot of our homeless populations are those who suffer mental health conditions because there is no one to house them. A lot of times it is unsafe to house them with their family. I know this from personal experience. It is unsafe for them to be alone. It is unsafe for them to be around certain communities and populations because they have this issue. So then we stick them in homeless shelters and nursing homes, which is not where they belong either because they're not being treated for the issue at hand. So environmental is really, really big. And the fact that we are changing the environment in the church, now you'll see more people come out. I don't know where this came from, but we see an influx. The one thing that y'all all see, talk about a lot is autism. We see a lot of diagnosis with autism, higher than ever. And I do think there is an overdiagnosis of autism. And we see a lot of our youth that were born during the pandemic that are being diagnosed with autism, but I think some of that is environmental.
Yeah. And I think, that's the thing when we deal with mental health. I always say this, and this is just how I feel. I feel that the pandemic uncovered a lot of undocumented mental health.
Oh, absolutely.
Stress, bipolarism, depression was unfolded in that time. And so now it's at the forefront of our lives, it's in our churches, it's in our schools, so much to the point in church and ministry that pastors are actually having social emotional sit downs with the youth department.
Yeah.
They're having mental workshops and health fairs for the lay people and for the senior saints. Even myself here, I had something a few months ago. We were getting ready to do another one. We want to do it quarterly. I call it Man Cave. And it's a place where men come together and we check in with one another and then we process. Somebody around that group will find out that they got something going on and somebody else has the same thing happening in that group or has had it happen. And they're dumping is what we call it, doing men's work. We're dumping it. letting them know, hey man, I went through the same thing you went through, and if I made it, you can make it too. And I feel what it's done for us so many times in the past. I feel like mental health has been covered up.
Absolutely.
But
It's
now, yeah,
unacceptable.
yeah,
Just think about back in the days, and I mean, I can't go as far back as you might be able to.
that's what we're gonna do today.
Think about those kids who couldn't sit still in church.
Yeah,
And they would, pop them, or they would say, "You better not move," or they would mute it. But now you see more kids frequently bouncing around church, running around church, and not necessarily being chastised for not sitting still, because the issue wasn't that they were hard-headed or they were bad. They have either ADHD, autism, or something that is causing them to struggle with those different things. I went to a church maybe probably not about 3 months ago.
Okay.
And it hurt my heart so bad to really just keep building in the churches and keep doing what we're doing. The mother came in obviously distressed, tired. I'm not going to assume she was a single mother. Dad could have been at work, or who knows. But she was in church by herself. Let me say that. And the child, at first I was like, if you don't sit this little kid, like I'm trying to give me a little Jesus. But then I instantly can see just in the repetitiveness of the kid's behavior. The kid actually was flapping. So there was obviously a diagnosis of autism, because I know some of the signs and symptoms.
Tremors, we see.
The average person would have just been like, what is going on? And the mom was trying so hard to just kind of like keep the kid still. She like holding the kid, worshiping with one hand. But you could just tell she needed to be there so bad. And I wanted to be like, baby, give me her. You get what you need. But people are so uncomfortable with like letting their kids do those type of things. But she ended up just literally having to snatch the girl up, because she just got she couldn't be maintained at that point. She had stemmed completely off, and she hollered all the way out the door. And I just felt so bad, because in my head I could feel that mother's mental health. She doesn't have a condition, but she was stressed. And she needed something in the one place she thought to go. And I don't know if this is a frequent thing. Again, I was the visitor. She went to the church, and she ended up leaving without the word, because she just couldn't take it no more.
And I felt like I've been there. It wasn't until I went to school and got my master's in counseling and became a clinician, took clinicals at a preceptor, and learned about tremors and about outbursts. And you learn certain things, social emotional learning. You learn all of these, transference, counter transference. We learn these things as clinicians, and it's easy for us to identify with it when we see it. Because we were all like that. I know I was. But like, why don't they get that baby to sit there? But watch this. Even now, as a pastor, I'm so sentimental about that. I've even told, even here at the church, and this, it might not be such. It's not a mental case, but it's just young children like that. I said, leave the baby alone. We got the baby in the aisle every Sunday. Let that baby do whatever. As long as she's not hurting herself or harming somewhere, leave her alone. Let her sit in the middle of the aisle. Let her walk the aisle, because I heard Dr. W.T. Glenn say, woe to the church where you never hear a crying baby. He said, a church with a crying baby is a church with a future. And so we just have to learn in the church how to deal with children, either in mental health or just being a child. That's why I think it's good for us as pastors and as church leaders to bring these resources to the church for mental health, so we can educate the church, educate the lay people, educate the leaders, so everybody can be on the same page. Let me say, Cousin Gerald Miller, God bless you, man. First Lady at WVTC Radio, Lady Latrice Morris, thank you so much for tuning in. We're definitely praying for you and Reverend Morris. But it's up to us to educate.
It is. And that's why I think I'm gonna challenge y'all. For those who are watching Beyond the Pew, if you go to church this week and you see a mother trying to maintain her child and try to be a part of the word, and your church does not have a children's church, obviously, ask to support. Ask the mom, can I help you? Is there a way I can support you? Is there anything I can do? Because you taking that child for maybe like 10 minutes so she can just get the word. Can change her whole week, because 9 times out of 10, what you're experiencing in that one moment, she or he, let me not count out the
Thank you for doing that.
She or he is experiencing that with their child multiple times throughout the day.
Yeah.
So you giving that one little break
Hmm.
can really just boost them up to kind of be ready for the next breakdown or
Yeah.
the next outburst or whatever it may be.
I'm glad you said that, because this is something that we have to stop doing. Um, I remember when we started the children's church,
Mhm.
and so we say, okay, let's send the children's church over there, let them play, color, and do all that. But I think we can use this now as a platform to even service those children in our churches who may have social and emotional learning
Absolutely.
disabilities or mental health challenges.
Absolutely.
We can service them during that time we have them in
Yeah.
children's church.
You can't. All it really takes, honestly, to provide a space, especially here in the Mount Calvary, you guys have an amazing amount of space between the center and the actual sanctuary. But setting up, well, you already got the nursery set
Yeah.
up. Getting you somebody in here that is created and certified. Because again, working with children and young children with special needs or diverse learners, I think is the appropriate language now. It changes quite often. It's not easy. I remember when I had my first kid who was nonverbal, wasn't potty trained. It took everything. And at first, I used to work for a shelter in DCFS. And when they tried to send the kid, she didn't meet the criteria of who we serve. So I told them no several times because she didn't meet our criteria. It could become a liability. And that's what you have to be very cautious with as well, because they are a vulnerable population from the youngest to the eldest. Anyone who carries an actual diagnosis, which I'm going to give you guys the stats to that in a second, are considered vulnerable populations. That's what we call them on the clinical side. And she didn't meet our demographics. So I said, no, we can't maintain her. We don't change diapers. We don't do any of that. And we kept saying no, and they ended up making us take her. And she became one of the center's favorite kids. Within weeks of working with her, she was potty trained. She was speaking words when she left to this time. She's actually returned home. So she has returned back to her bio family. I still keep in contact with them, and they show me the updates of her and how she's progressing. But she's one who would have been sit down, don't move. And that's really honestly kind of how it started. The parent wasn't aware of how to care for a kid with those needs. They thought she was bad. But once they got classes and they learned, they were able to maintain. So sometimes it's really just education.
Yeah, that's all it takes.
And according to NAMI, 1 in 5 adults experience a mental health illness.
Wow.
So that means if you're sitting in a coffee house, or let's take it to the church. If you're sitting in the sanctuary, worshiping on a Sunday morning,
come on, talk about it.
1 in every 5 people that you come across is struggling with a mental illness.
Yeah.
If you're not the one,
We'll
1 in
leave
5
that there.
people from the pew to the pulpit, because I found a few stats on pastors as well and preachers and ministers as it relates to mental health, but that's about 59 million people in the U.S. And I don't have the dates to when this was given, but it apparently came from NAMI, are struggling with the mental illness.
Yeah.
So I think the best place, who else to learn and engage than the church?
Come on. That's a fact.
Who else? I love the fact that I can see what you got going on in the natural and pray to the heavenly spirits in the spiritual.
Yeah.
I love it because sometimes I have to turn it off because it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
But I love that I can do both.
And that's the thing we have to understand. We have to talk about it. We have to teach it. We have to educate ourselves. We have to educate the people around us, our parishioners, our leaders, so we could be effective even the more. And again, as I said it earlier, I'll piggyback on it. Both licensed ministers love the Lord, serve in our churches, in our districts, and our conventions. But there is something else that goes along with prayer.
Yeah.
We got to take action and teach. Yeah. Like we teach the Word of God, we have to teach on mental health and the effects that it has on our community, on our children, on our church.
Say about how we perish?
Come on, lack of knowledge.
Lack of knowledge.
We got to
That's
educate
just
ourselves.
Not biblical knowledge. That's because we're in this world.
Yeah.
We're not of it, but we're in
it.
And God expects for us to be able to own and lead
Yeah.
throughout this world, but we can't lead what we don't know about.
Yeah. Do me a favor, those of you that are watching right now, do me this huge favor. I want you to tag somebody in this post. Tag your pastor. Tag your pastor in this post. Tag your executive pastor. Tag your assistant pastor in this post as we talk about unmuting mental health. I can say honestly how it affected me during the pandemic. My mental health was challenged. I was depressed in the beginning because I was in a state of worry because I'm like, Lord, how can we continue to reach our parishioners? How can we continue to give them the services that they need? Now, this is the blessing. We were already live as it relates to cameras and streaming on social media during that time. We were already live. But what happened with us was we didn't have to go and buy cameras or anything. We were there. So we had to transition, get a YouTube page because the mothers aren't fluent in Facebook. They're fluent in YouTube. We had the grandkids, hey, go by the house and help Granny get on YouTube, show her how to type the church's name in. My mother at the time was blind. I set it up on the phone where she could talk to the phone. The phone would take her directly to the Facebook page or the YouTube page, whichever one she wanted to listen. And so God allowed us and blessed us with those resources. So it took some of my anxiety away because at first, I'm being honest, I was challenged. Lord, how are we going to continue in this way? How was the church going to survive? And God kept us through all of that because he was at the forefront and met us at every point of our need.
Let me say this too, and you brought this up about struggling and feeling depressed. One of the myths that we found is depression is just sadness.
Mm-hmm.
It is not. Depression affects your mood, your energy, your sleep, your focus, your physical health. It is not just about your emotions. And according to the World Health Organization, and this is reported because how many did you go and report that you struggled with it during the pandemic?
What do you mean?
Like had some struggles with depression?
Did I tell anyone?
Well, just period. Is it documented anywhere?
No.
Exactly. And I don't mean that like shady, but
no.
Many of us have struggled with it. So these statistics are nowhere near real, life because Black and brown people have been told you do it in your house, you do it in your house. What happens at home stays at home.
Yeah.
We mute a lot of that, which unfortunately leads for the science people who are studying how to, make things better. They struggle because there is no real data, which is one of the reasons why I'm interested in going back to school for it. There's no real data on church and mental health because we don't talk about it.
Yeah.
The pastors don't speak about it as much until it's too late. You'll see it after a pastor has taken his life or who has attempted to take his life or things of that nature. But it says 280 million people globally live with depression. Not seasonal, not situational, but a daily life of depression.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure many of you can attest that you have felt a moment of depression. Most of you have probably felt it as it relates to lack or grief.
You said 1 in 5.
1 in 5 is for people who experience a mental illness.
Okay.
280 million people globally live with depression. And I don't even know how current those stats are. But just like I said, most of you have experienced depression, probably situational, grief-wise or lack. So you can't pay your bills, you can't, do what you used to do. You start feeling these depressive states and you don't start enjoying life and things of that nature. But then soon as life changes, you're able to kind of get back with the flow. Unfortunately, those who struggle with depression, it's not that easy. It's not as easy to kind of fall back into life routine once money comes.
That's true.
Fall back once we came out of the pandemic. Like every day is a struggle to experience a level of not just happiness, but just sustain a level of peace. And that's a lot.
It's a whole lot.
That's a whole lot. I can remember moments of just being stressed or moments of feeling depressed when I lost my grandmother. I was very sad around that time. when things weren't going the way I wanted to. When I got diagnosed with a plethora of sicknesses, I was just like, God, why me? And I started feeling this state of depression. That's what I would call it, a state of depression.
Yeah.
So it becomes a lot. And when we don't properly talk to the right people, we don't get the right type of education to really help support the need.
I agree.
And I think that's what is really driving me back into a doctoral program, just to study the mental health in the church.
I think you should go for it. I think it'd make a great dissertation.
I'm highly considering it.
To talk about ministry and mental health. I think it would be great.
I know somebody got them dollars now.
Come on.
That's the real challenge.
We accepting all scholarships, all grants. Come on. Tell Lottie Dottie and everybody, let them know that there's some educational needs that are definitely needed. It's what time is it? It's 3:34.
3:30.
We're gonna take a small break and we're gonna go to our announcements. Don't leave. We got a few more minutes left. We want to get these announcements in so you can see our supporters and those who support us here at Beyond the Pew. We will be right back.
Today's conversation has been powerful, and we're not done yet. Before we continue, here are a few announcements from the Beyond the Pew family. Do you remember those lunchroom cookies? That's right, Ooh TT's Cookies, Cookies by Trina. Place your order today. The number is 773-519-3598. It's $8 for a dozen and $30 for a tray. Call and place your orders today. Ain't nothing like down-home chicken salad. Creamy and delicious, made with quality ingredients, perfect for any occasion. Auntie Lettuce chicken salad. You need to get some made the down-home way. $40 for a small pan, $60 for a large. You give her a call, 708-715-2400. It's the CEO herself, our co-host, Jazzy Mack. Want to take some time to work with her? I promise you won't be disappointed. Give her an email. It's jazzy@myjourneymademe.com. She's a speaker, preacher, coach, LSW, author, and podcast host. You're guaranteed to get quality services when working with My Journey Made Me.
Join the New Mount Calvary Missionary Baptist Church for all of your community service and outreach needs. Monday from 2:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m., food pantry, community grocery giveaway. Join the New Mount Calvary Seasoned Saints Ministries Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. Arts and crafts, games, potluck and fellowship, health screening, social engagement, and so much more.
Still looking for a place for your kids to attend this summer? Bring them on down to New Mount Calvary, where we have free summer camp programs, June through August, tutoring, field trips, breakfast, and lunches served.
We talk about Beyond the Pew. We need you in the pew. Where? The New Mount Calvary Missionary Baptist Church, Chicago, where we serve God and grow people. Sundays at 11:30 a.m., 1850 West on Marquette Road, where the table of the Lord is spread and the feast of the Lord is going on. Bishop William Q. James, Senior Pastor, Dr. John H. Robinson Jr., Executive Pastor.
Every first and third Tuesday at 7:30 p.m., join us to check in, to reset, refill for the rest of your week. That's with Trinity Outreach, as they host The Well Mental Health. Make sure that you register so that we can send you the link. And be sure to follow us at Trinity Outreach Chicago on Facebook. Here's another opportunity for you to be in the pews, and that's to join Holy Trinity Missionary Baptist Church number 2, where the pastor is none other than Pastor Anthony David O'Neill. We hold Sunday morning worships at 11 a.m. and Wednesday Bible class at 6 p.m. We're located at 5416 South Calumet in Chicago, Illinois. We would love to have you join us. Now that has been your announcements. Now let's get back to our conversations here on Beyond the Pew.
We are back. Thank you so much, those that are still watching and tuning in with us. Just pause for a little station identification to let you know what we have going on, and also for those who are sponsors here at Beyond the Pew on the two-time stellar award-winning WVTC Gospel Radio on TV network. We thank God for all that He has done and all that He is doing. We are talking about unmuting mental health. If you have not shared in this conversation, do me a favor, please like and share. Like and share.
And comment.
And
Guys.
comment.
Say something to us.
Yes.
Let us know.
Let us know if
We
this has
love
been a
sending
blessing to
knowledge
you.
that you are in the
Yeah,
building.
let us know if is your mental health intact or how has it been challenged.
And it might be not as easy for him to get off the pulpit on a Sunday because he's the bishop, right? But I'm just
Yes.
a little old jazzy.
Stop.
I am more than welcome to come into your churches and really trying to figure out how we can get you what you need. This is not, I think we talk about this a lot. It's not a us thing.
Mhm.
It's a him thing. And the more we can bring people into awareness of what mental health looks like and how do we sustain it within our churches and making sure that we feed the need that's in the pew.
Yeah.
You know what's in your pew, we don't. And maybe you don't. You'll be surprised too, because as I started fellowshipping more within the district and the Congress, there's a lot of social workers and clinicians. And so we're really just trying to work on something so that we can continue to move forward.
Mhm.
Even in the well. So the well that I host on Tuesdays, I thought it was going to be full of people, millennials, people my age. And I actually have some of the senior saints who are really now starting to figure out they're as hey, Brother Ramon. They're as they're groggy or they're so stern because of a trauma.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're starting to unmask it and unmute it. And it really changes on how you do ministry, and it also changes on how you treat people.
It
You don't
does.
realize sometimes you're only treating people based off of something that was done to you
Yeah.
that you didn't even realize affected you.
Yeah. You didn't even realize it.
Didn't even realize it. One of the other myths that we did find was that children don't experience mental health illnesses. And you know how we're like, oh, this is what people say this all the time, and I just cringe every time they say it. Live a little longer, you'll know what it really feels like.
Whatever that means.
The kids of today are probably facing double the amount of trauma that the kids growing up during slavery or right after slavery may experience.
Gotcha.
Which is heavy.
Really
so like the kids of slaves obviously experienced a level of trauma, but I'm talking about that generation of those kids who had kids who were no longer enslaved. So more so during like the Martin Luther King marching era, those children then, the amount of trauma they experienced was really high because they couldn't go certain places, couldn't do certain things, seeing people being lynched. The children of today are impacted that way, probably double or triple, sometimes because of environment, sometimes because of poor choices. Poor choices. And it says that 1 in 6 youth, ages 6 to 17, have a mental health disorder. That's a lot.
It's a lot. That's a
That's
huge.
a lot.
It's a huge number.
That's a lot.
And I think that's where we come in. Both Jazzy and I, we are both working social work, and we see it. We work through at the Catholic churches, through our archdiocese. We see it all the time with mental health and the smallest of children. You just couldn't imagine from kindergarten on up. And so I think it's very relevant for us to make sure on every level that we're talking about mental health, we're sharing about mental health, and that we're checking in with one another. You know, somebody that got some mental health illnesses, illnesses, check in on it. Depression, bipolarism, whatever it is, check in on it.
Another myth that I think people face is that therapy is only for when you're in crisis.
Oh, please don't do
that. That is reactive.
I can talk about that.
Meaning reactive meaning now you have a problem, now you want to look for a solution. We want to be proactive, meaning before there is a problem, we want to know what solutions we have available. And the statistics for that is 1 in 4 adults seek mental health treatment. But remember, the statistics was 1 in 5 of them have mental health.
And that 1 in 5, that's like 59 million,
Mhm.
59 million people,
Yeah.
1 in 5. I remember, and I shared this before, taking clinicals when I took clinicals at UIC.
Mhm.
My preceptor was Reverend Allison Talbot,
Mhm.
and I remember going through um, my clinicals, and I had a lot going on in life.
Mhm.
Now, in my clinicals, I'm doing residency at UIC, so I'm going to see patients who are in hospice,
Mhm.
patients who are in palliative care, and my mother is on hospice.
Mhm.
And I'm working,
Mhm.
and I'm going, seeing these patients, building relationships with their families.
Mhm.
And it seems like people die on the weekend. And I
Mhm.
remember I would be with some of the patients and their family for 2 and 3 months, walk on praying with them, sitting down, eating lunch with them, just being a support,
Yeah.
presence and support at the time. And I remember we would have our check-in in the chaplaincy office every morning before we go and hit the hospital floor.
Mhm.
And somebody would say, "Oh, William, Miss Davis, I wanted to she passed Saturday night."
Mhm.
Or, Mr. Johnson, he passed Sunday morning because I didn't work Saturday. And that would just do something to me because I feel like I was a part of the family.
Yeah.
And so I would have to write a card to the family and share with them. And I remember one day my pager went off.
Okay.
I'm working, and myself and another colleague, we're working together. She has one side of the hospital, I have the other. My pager goes off, and it's a family who's experiencing their loved one has COVID. They're leaving, they're transitioning. So I have to immediately go with the family, and I'm in the head of the door of the room, and I have the mother, well, I have the daughter in one hand
Mhm.
because the lady is her mother that's coding.
Mhm.
I have the sister in another hand, and I'm embracing them
Mhm.
while the team is working on it.
Mhm.
And the daughters, "Mama, fight, Mama, fight." The sisters, "Come on, I fight. I can't live without you. I can't."
Mhm.
And before I knew it, tears
Well, yeah.
start rolling down my face. Now I don't know this woman. I don't know these people. I'm like, I didn't even realize I was crying. And I called. We had a hot phone, as we used to call it at the hospital. I called my colleague and I said, "I need you." She immediately came to the unit, and her being who she is, saw my face
Mhm.
and said, "Give them to me.
Mhm.
Go do what you need to do."
Mhm.
And Jabbing, I went in that washroom.
Mhm. Toe down.
Boy, I was I'm talking about, I hollered, I screamed, and I did not know that all this was in me.
But that is the weight that most leaders
Yeah,
carry.
yeah,
And I mean leaders of the church, leaders at a job, leaders in your family,
yeah,
leaders in your home, leaders wherever. You are consistently just all of the
yeah,
pressures and everything. And it's unintentional.
yeah,
You're not purposeful. Like some people, you'll see people like mock it by like saying like you ever see like put on the bags.
yeah,
You put on the bags unintentionally, but you're getting the transference
yeah,
of the emotions.
yeah,
On top of that, leaders, we still go through stuff.
yeah,
So you started by saying your mom was in this position herself.
yeah.
So you're going to work to deal with what you're also dealing with at
At
home.
home, I leave this
On
and I
top
go
of
to.
probably still having the same thing going on as a pastor.
That's the pastor.
So
Yeah,
it was like you were seeing this 24/7.
yeah, yeah,
That's why it's important as leaders to unplug.
yeah,
It is important as leaders to have that moment you have of what we call breaking,
yeah.
which is actually releasing.
And I did, like you said, working at the hospital. Every week somebody's passing. I'm
Every
dealing with
day.
this. I'm dealing with this. Still leaving the hospital and going to my mother's bedside and being with her and seeing her in her transition. And then the morning my mother transitions, I'm with her. The Lord answered my prayer. I'm by the bedside. She takes her last breath at 2:38 a.m. while I'm holding her hand. And 2:38 on a Saturday morning. At 11 a.m., I have to eulogize my member's mother.
That's heavy.
And I'm like, God, you gotta
I'm
be.
sure you were in autopilot.
Oh man, what?
Just
I don't even remember what I
knowing.
preached. I was in autopilot.
Yeah.
And I remember when I got here, the members that heard about it, the deacons came to my office, and even my members who had lost their mother at the service, they were saying, Pastor, you should have called us and talked. What were you going to do?
Yeah.
Well, you couldn't reschedule the service.
Yeah.
As a leader, I had to fight through it. I had to fight through it.
But that's also why it's important to have a community. And I talk about this a lot as a community because that was a perfect time to exercise that community as well. A lot of times as leaders and pastors, we don't want to disappoint, right? We don't want to let down, or we don't want you to feel inadequate or that we forgot about you or anything like that. So majority of the time, which takes me to some of my stuff I found on pastors, preachers, when we walk through that front door, we take, and that's why you hear us say, hide me behind the cross, none of me, all of you. That is not just something we say because somebody taught us to say it.
Yeah.
If you see me while I'm preaching, we got a problem.
Yeah.
Because you ain't getting nothing. Because I left 40 bills on my table. I left 20 diagnoses on my table. I took 40 pills to get here.
And
my head hurt, my back hurt, got surgery too.
And got to take 9 when I leave here
because I've been standing so long, right?
long.
So that is why we say things like that. But we have to learn as leaders that when we get in predicaments like that, to be able to say, hey, Bishop, I was supposed to preach a service this morning. I can't walk. I need you to go take care of that.
Yeah.
Please. Even if you were in the back because you wanted to show your face, which is still an extension.
Yeah.
As the parishioners, we have to be okay with understanding that. Can you imagine where he is right now? We got to stop being superheroes.
Lord.
God already, and this is taking me off segment, but he already died on the cross.
That's a good show. When do we take the cake off?
Why we still being, why?
Hey, Auntie, the Duchess of Gospel Music, Lady LaVondra Hubbard. Hey, Auntie, thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, comment, and share. Thank you so much.
I wanna get 2 things out before we have to tune out because I know we got a lot. But here's some statistics from in regards to leaders and pastors. It says about 11% of pastors show symptoms of consistency with clinical depression.
Yeah.
I disagree. I think it's more.
Yeah.
I just think they're unreported. It says burnout and emotional exhaustion surveys 30 to 40% of pastors report high levels of burnout. I wonder how many leaders have high blood pressure. Not just because y'all eat pork or whatever y'all eat.
If I would, thank God for HIPAA, because if I would just tell you all of my colleagues and friends who are pastors, I could just about over half of them got high blood pressure.
And most of it is not just because of how they're
eating.
It's
because they eat pork rinds
because
they eat pork rinds and pumpkin seeds.
Internalizing.
Yeah.
It says about 1 in 3 pastors, 35%, have seriously considered quitting ministry due to stress, loneliness, or mental fatigue.
Yeah. Because as leaders, we take on so much. And you think about dealing with the sickness and the death of our own parents, and then having to go and leave and hold the hands of a parishioner who's dealing with the same thing, all while preparing a message for Sunday morning and whatever anniversary you got to preach the Sunday evening of that.
But when does it? And I don't want to say stop because we have to continue.
Never stops.
It doesn't stop. But when do we bring self-awareness into what it is? And that's why I love being in charge of my pastor's anniversary as it relates to preaching. Sometimes he gets mad at me, right? Because I'll be like, sit down. Yeah. You're done for a month. And he'd be like, who are you talking to? But I long for the moment of having his brothers and his friends come in for just that month and pour back into him the little that he can receive in that short time.
Yeah.
But that's why I don't play about anniversaries for
Yeah.
pastors, because that's the one time he'll literally release his hands
Yeah.
and let me kind of have full flow so that I can make sure that in those 2 to 3 services, somebody is coming not because they want to check, not because we went to them, but they're coming to literally pour back into him to give him what he needs to move forward. But that's why I also love when I see pastors, and I despise when I see y'all pop into churches and they bring y'all to the front. No, leave them in the back.
Yeah.
Let them get what it is they need. They're literally coming for more than just to say, "Hey, I popped my head in." But they need some feeling.
There's a church that I go to here in Illinois, and I'm not gonna call it church.
I'm like, don't call it.
Oh, I'm not
you're
gonna
gonna
call
get
it
pulled
church.
to the front.
Thank you so much. God bless you for tuning in. Thank you. Good day to you as well. I'm waiting to see you. Yeah, probably a little delay. Thank you. God bless you so much. I go to this church when I need to be refilled and recharged.
Yeah, necessary.
Nobody knows me. If I go, I dress like this. Nobody will know who I am. And I go and I get rejuvenated. I get revived. I get refilled. Because, and I'm saying that I love my friends. I appreciate who they are, my colleagues. Because if I go to your church, 2 things are gonna happen.
Respect. You getting on the organ?
I'm gonna be on the organ.
Or you get in the pulpit.
I'm gonna be in the pulpit, and I just want to go. I don't want to go to Cheers. Remember Cheers said, "Everybody know your name."
Yes.
I want to go where they say, "God bless you, brother.
Yeah.
Come right on in. Welcome." Thank you.
Do you have a church home?
Yeah.
Do I have a church home?
Yeah. And but I'm able to sit down. I'm able to enjoy the service. I'm able to get into the worship, and I'm able to get fed. And when I leave there, nobody knows who I am. I'm just cute. I ain't the bishop. I ain't doctor. I ain't pastor. I'm just a visitor.
And that's necessary on so many levels, because there is a lot going on. The last myth that I do want to debunk or unmute, and this one is heavy. I'm going to try to say it in a way that we don't get muted. It's not bad. But
these are not the views in the...
Certain words they will mute you for.
Really?
Yeah. Sometimes you just want to go and enjoy it and get fed.
Yes. Simple.
Yes, absolutely.
Simple.
So you just want to just go and get what you need and get back out.
And Ramon said, he said, if you enjoy this presentation, please like, share. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man, so much for helping us on the day on Beyond the Pew. So said a great welcome would do. And God bless you is beautiful. She said, I understand, Bishop. Yeah,
it's real.
Yeah, I want to be
really
cute.
Real.
I don't want to be on the organ. I don't want to go to the pulpit. I just want to sit down. I want to pump my fist with the praise team.
Right.
You know.
And again, I don't. As I've been coming out more into ministries, it's really funny because I never thought it would be a day where they'd be like, "Oh, there she go, bring it to me." Like, I never would have guessed that would have been my lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
But I'm a backseat. I remember when my pastor first named me, "Come, if you ever tune into my church, I'm not sitting in the pulpit because I am not a pulpit preacher. I am a preacher everywhere. Like, I'm taking care of business, making sure everything is flowing and everything is going the way it's supposed to go. And I never want to be the one who's looking for a camera or a mic. So you're going to find me serving with my hands to the plow every time. But I remember going to a church and I tried to slide in the back just to support one of my fellow peers. And hey, come on. I said, oh no, And we're not saying that we don't respect the fact that you offer the respect or that you acknowledge, but sometimes we just want to be left in the back.
Yeah.
Leave me in the pew. That's all we ask.
Yeah.
And again, we ain't call him to the organ. Just call him in advance so he can plan. All right, we ain't trying to take no gigs away either. All right. You know, people get funny like, oh, he don't want to be called to the organ.
No, and again, it's not that. I love playing the organ. I love preaching. But there are times when I just want to come and get fed. Yeah. I just want to unwind. I want to be in the audience, in the worship service, witnessing to the preacher. There's sometimes I want to do that. I think that's the blessing God has given me here at the New Mount Calvary Church with Dr. John Robinson, it's our new executive pastor.
Mhm.
I get to sit some Sunday mornings and
Just
push
say
somebody
amen.
else and pump somebody else and say amen. I thank God for our associate ministers. When they get the opportunity to stand and preach, I can push somebody else. Because pastors, we live, let me change that. I lead a very busy life.
Yeah.
I'm a biovocational pastor. I'm a counselor. I'm a musician. I'm a father. There's a lot that we experience and that we have to deal with. And I don't think sometimes people know the palette or the plate
Yeah.
that we have. And it's something you said earlier. I want to piggyback on you were saying about calling somebody to get them to share in. That's true. And I have a couple I know I can call in who are going to preach to you on the good news. They ain't going to get up and give me no peanut butter and jelly. They're going to feed God's people. But that comes in with trust.
It does.
And as pastors, we got to trust.
Yeah.
I had a post I put up the other day from something I saw when I was out of town. And it said, be careful with trust. Because salt and sugar, it looks the same. And it gets blended in. And you'll mistake sugar for salt. Salt preserves, sugar poisons. So as pastors, we got to even be mindful in our trust level.
Yeah.
That's why our trust has to be solely depending upon the Lord. Well, it looked like it's the 4 o'clock hour.
It is. And I'm going to try to get one more thing out, which is
Go
a big
ahead.
one. Many people think that talking about certain things makes it more prevalent to take place. And this is what I mean by that. Just because we're educating on mental health doesn't mean everybody who walks past you has that condition, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just because we bring awareness to something, we're not planting a seed of lack of faith or planting a seed. But one of the biggest things, I'm going to say unalive, I'm going to use that word.
Okay.
In fact, that's a safer word. Unfortunately, I should be able to say the exact word. But people think by talking about that, it plants the idea in people's head. And that is one that is false.
Yeah.
That is absolutely false. It actually has been seen that the more you talk about it, the less likely it is to occur.
Yeah.
And I think that goes across for everything that we've been talking about today.
It does.
Again, this is not a substitute for you going to seek professional help. This is not clinical therapy. This is not any of that. This is just us bringing awareness to you.
Yeah.
So if we said something today that kind of itched you, you probably need to seek additional support.
Yeah.
If you recognize yourself and some of the things we talked about, you need to seek additional support. And talking about it doesn't make you weak. Talking about it doesn't mean you have less faith. And talking about it doesn't plant seeds of negativity in your life. It just gives you a name of now you know what to call out. If you want to make yours a demon, that's fine. Now you can call it out.
I'm with you on that.
Now you can call it out.
That I agree with you 100%. And thank you all so much for tuning in and joining us on Beyond the Pew. Today we have completed our final installment as it relates to mental health, unmuting mental health. There are some great things that's coming and great things that are going to be in store here Beyond the Pew. God is enlarging our territory.
Yes, I'm excited
And
about
so
June, July.
I am. It's going to be great months.
Y'all stay tuned.
Yeah.
Don't miss out.
Yeah. We're starting next week in the month of June, July, and August with Summer Soul Sessions.
Yes,
it's going to be lit.
It's going to be good.
So you might see us at the park. You might see us at the lake. You might see us at the concert.
Yeah.
We're gonna be popping up everywhere.
Outside.
We're outside all summer, and in June we're honoring fathers on the front line.
Love that.
Look for that marketing this weekend to hit social media. We're gonna be interviewing and talking to some amazing fathers who are on the front line and who serve in so many capacities, not just pastors, preachers, and bishops. Because we're going where?
Beyond the pew.
Beyond the pew. We are going beyond the pew. So we thank you so much for being here with us on today. As we leave you every week, we always tell you, hey, if you only believe, all things are possible. If you just only believe. My brothers and my sisters, we love you. We appreciate you all. And we will see you all on next Saturday for the kickoff at the beginning of Summer Soul Sessions. Y'all pray for Minister Mac, because on next Sunday, I've been teasing her. She gets her wings on next Sunday. She will be ordained into the gospel ministry on next Sunday.
Wow.
So y'all pray for her and the 21 others that will sit with her as they were ordained and will be crowned some deacons through our district, Emmanuel Baptist District Association of Chicago and vicinity. And then tomorrow,
Fifth
Sunday Fellowship, we're hyped about it. 9 churches come together. We'll be a second.
10 now.
Oh, that's right. Excuse me, 10 churches come together at the second Mount Vernon Baptist Church, where we will have our 5th Sunday Fellowship. Bishop O.C. Out of Control Dockery will be the speaker. Hey, if you have not been to one of our fellowships, you do not want to miss it. It's going to be good.
Sure to post the flyer.
Yeah, good praise, good preaching, good proclamation. You want to be there. And so this has been Beyond the Pew, a place to reset with
real life,
real talk,
and real faith.
We'll see you next week. Peace.
Enjoy what God is doing. But I was brought up in the old church. And I'm going to jog your memory right quick and see if you all remember this. All right? The song just says, for God so loved the world. Anybody remember this old song of the church?
Go to your Apple or Google Play Store and download the WVTC Gospel Radio app today. You can also say, Alexa, play WVTC Radio Skills.
Would you like to play WVTC Radio Network?
Absolutely. Download it today.
We done shouted, we done cried, but what happens Monday night when the pressure hits your door and you can't take no more? We keep it real, we keep it true. This ain't surface, this breakthrough. God still speaks, God still moves, even outside of the pews. Real talk, real life, real faith, real faith. Beyond the pew, yeah, we gon' be on the pew.